So, look, you know the situation, if you remember, in NDG, we had actually Sonny Morose from the city on the show a few weeks ago when the city first announced they're going to install parking meters on Sherbrooke Street and some of the side streets as well. There was a bit of an outcry at the time. A couple of council meetings got a little loud and boisterous. But at the end of the day, the city backed down, at least to some degree. So instead of the original 447 meters they were going to put in, they're down to 250. But now some of the merchants are speaking up saying, wait a sec, this is not working out. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on. So we thought we'd try to find out more. Evelyn Couture is one of the owners of the Döghaus Pet Supply Store there in NDG alongside Sherbrooke Street and is on the line. Evelyn, thanks for coming on. Can we start by, first of all, explaining what's the biggest concern you have here?
Hi, thanks for having me. Well, our biggest concern is the fact that it's going to be difficult for our customers to find parking. And a lot of our customers, because we also offer grooming, are sometimes just coming in for a 2 to 5 minute transaction of handing off the dog and then leaving them with us for a few hours and getting back into the car, going, and then having to come back again. And that would be $4, so basically an $8 a day drop-off for a grooming service if they can't find free parking on the side streets. So that's a bit of a concern. It is hard to find parking on the side streets many times. We had all of Sherbrooke available to us, at least on the side we're on, until 3:30, and then there's a bus lane until 6:30. So that was already that was an existing issue that always caused us problems because a lot of our clients come later on in the afternoon after work, and they can't park on Sherbrooke Street. So that's always been a concern, and then they added the parking meters. And for a lot of the clients that just want to come in, run in, grab a bag of food, run out, now they're adding like a $4 fee on top of that bag of food.
Now, so, I would just bring up a couple of things. Number one, and I'm not making light of the situation, but I know for me, when I have to do something like this, even go to the bank, just make a deposit, make a withdrawal, whatever, and you're going to be there for 2 minutes, even in front of a parking meter, unless there's a parking meter attendant there, if you will, whatever we call them now, chances are you're not going to get ticketed. They're not standing there. They're not waiting for you to park that way, right? Or to try to give you a ticket. So, and I'm not saying that makes this any better. I'm just saying as a consideration for people making short trips, I don't see it as huge of a problem. I think the other part of the problem, if I read this right, is that people on some of the side streets who are used to not paying for parking are now going to have to start paying for parking, and that's a concern for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they were discussing putting in permit parking on the side street.
Right.
So I don't know where clients are supposed to go for the merchants. I mean, we're already not doing, Sherbrooke is not thriving. There's many empty storefronts.
Yeah.
And they were touting this as a way to, help, boost the economic situation on the street by having more of a turnover. A number of us really just don't see that being the case. And then, for example, today, the parking meter wouldn't allow you to pay for the parking, and it's telling my clients that they can't park there between 9 and 3:30.
Why?
And then again from 3:30 to 6. So I don't know. That's I finally was able to get in touch with someone at the city, and they said that they're opening a file. And in the meantime, they can go park across the street at a working permit parking meter.
Look, if I remember, one of the issues when it was first came up, and I said we had the city councilor on, Sonny Morose, on this story.
Yeah.
The idea was, one of the upsides I think that he talked about was the fact that now, at least people who, were taking advantage, if you will, of parking on there all day. Because if you weren't paying for a meter and you worked around there, you could just drop your car off. Well, you can't do that anymore, and that should be an upside for you.
I mean, I just don't think that was the case. That was never, in my mind, an issue. But, I mean, maybe for other merchants, it might be an upside for them. I just don't think that was ever an issue for me. I certainly didn't have clients that parked here all day. And also, we do have staff that need to find parking, and they are here all day.
Fair enough.
So it just was a bit scary to hear at one of these meetings that not only were they putting in the parking meters, but they were also then, the plan was to put permit parking on the side streets.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, so where are we supposed to park? And is my staff supposed to go out every 2 hours and keep adding to the meter? It just seemed ridiculous for them. Also, the way they push it through without any really consultation with anybody.
Now that's the part I want to sort of push back a little bit on, because I read that in the story about this no consultation. There were city council meetings. We actually had one of the residents who had gone to the city council meeting. It came up. There were a couple of council meetings. So the city didn't spring this on people, out of nowhere.
Well,
there were consultations, and because of those consultations, they went and said, you know what, okay, we heard you, this is my understanding, and cut down the number of meters.
Yeah, we're happy for that. I mean, it doesn't affect us, but in terms of the consultation, the only one I was ever advised of it was given to us like a week in advance. What I mean by consultation, and then they had already, from what I gather, made their decision, and then from that kind of uproar, yes, they did reduce, which we were happy for all the other merchants down the street, absolutely. But I'm just talking about, why didn't they have consultations throughout the year? Just even a few, just have people come by and talk about it and get some ideas behind why we would be against it.
Okay.
The clients, the one I'm paying business taxes,
Sure.
I want to make it easy. It's a brick and mortar store. We have enough competition as it is. I want to make it easy for my clients to come here, as easy as I can.
No,
and welcoming.
Sure, understandable. Every business would obviously like the same. Where do we go from here? I mean, the city's aware. You said you called today to complain about or to challenge the idea that you couldn't even park there today if you wanted to pay. Where does this go next as far as you're concerned?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really sure. For the problem that we're having today with the parking in front, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do about it. I'm not sure where to take that. I mean, if they said they open a file, I don't know how long that takes for them to come and fix the situation. But
do you plan to get together with other merchants now, given that this is already happening, and say, wait a sec, we have a concern and we'd like you to listen to us?
Well, I believe we've already done that. I mean, we tried to have petitions. I think, I'm not really sure that there's a way to move forward, to be honest. I think they're going to be here to stay. I would hope moving forward that we can stop maybe putting permit parking on the side streets, because then I don't really know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Where are we going to park? Where are the, we have many shops here. Where do staff park? Where do, so where do the clients park if they just want to run in and buy something or go get their hair done or go to the vet?
See, that's kind of the situation in NDG. So you have all this, the business on Sherbrooke Street, and you have so many side streets where people actually live, and there are homes. These are not condos. These are homes that have been there for a while.
Yeah.
And you're right. If they put permit parking there and you're then out of places to park, I'm not sure how that eventually works out. So I understand the concern here. Listen, all I can tell you, I did read that, as I mentioned, Sonny Moreau saying the city is still open to discuss this. So maybe that's at least an opening.
Yeah, maybe.
Hope so. We'll try to get him on the show actually at some point as well, just to have him explain this too. Listen, I wish you the best. It's not an easy situation, I'm sure, and I know that some people say it's a cash grab for the city, to which I simply said, you know what? Yeah, it is, but the city's argument is, if we weren't doing this, we'd have to raise your property taxes. So it's kind of, pick your devil, I guess.
Right.
If you will,
I guess you
right?
could say that. Absolutely.
But we'll see.
So I mean, hopefully, we'll hope for the best, and moving forward, I mean, if we can stop the permit parking, that would be wonderful too.
We shall see. Evelyn, thank you so much for the
Thank
time.
you
Wish
so
you the
much
best.
for having us on.
You bet.
Hello, Canada.
This is Bryan Adams Radio. Hosted by Bryan Adams himself.
We'll play a few of mine, a ton of my favorites, and some must-hear behind-the-scenes stories from the world of rock and roll. I'm coming to get you! One thing about doing rock and roll so long is you end up meeting a lot of the people that you admire. Sometimes you even get to work with them. It's only love, and that's all.
Bryan Adams Radio.
I'm coming back to you.
Now available on the free iHeartRadio app.
Everybody, how are you tonight? Sounds great.